Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Greg Mahachko here for Nerds United on YouTube. The first video that we've had in a very, very long time. Wanted to share a few thoughts on Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Spoiler-free thoughts. I'm not going to tell you anything about the plot. It's not my job. I want you to go see the movie. You can go online and say, oh, the movie was this, or oh, the movie was that. I want you to develop your own opinions. I'm share a few of mine, as I'm sure we'll discuss on the podcast that we'll record later tonight. I went to see the movie yesterday. That's right. Took a Thursday afternoon to the movie theater. And in doing so, I thought I might be the only one. Apparently, people have been wanting to see Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness. It was a pretty good crowd for a Thursday afternoon. So, got in, no problem. Got there just a few minutes before the trailers. The trailers were fine. The Avatar trailer looks good. Looks interesting, at least, which it should be something. It's been 10 years since we've had an Avatar movie. Give us something, right? The movie Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness, I will say right from the beginning, it was not what I expected it to be. And I think for that, I'm thankful. Too often, we have our theories, we have our guesses, we think we know more than we actually do, and in return, when our expectations are not met, there's disappointment. It's like I tell my wife frequently, keep your expectations low and I'll disappoint you. I mean, I won't disappoint you. And then I still do. But right from the beginning, the story, unfolded in such a way that I was like, all right, I'm here for this. I'm in. And I think this is the producer, one of the producers, something like that. It was quoted yesterday on one of the various, comic pop culture pages, saying felt that the trailers, the commercials, things like that revealed too much. And I'll be in 100% agreement with that sentiment. That being said, I was pretty pumped for some of the things that I saw in the movie. And then there's some, I can't believe that just happened. I'm trying to keep this, curse word free. But some of those, I can't believe that just happened moments in this movie that were totally unexpected, and in doing so brought a lot of shock, and to borrow phrases of almost 20 years ago, and awe, shock and awe to moviegoers. There was an audible gasp at one point when you watch the movie. If you watch the movie, I think you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I think the performances were tremendous, and in a situation like that where it's multiversal, right? So you have, and this is not a spoiler, but you have Benedict Cumberbatch playing different variations of Doctor Strange, and you have Elizabeth Olsen. I was going to get there. I was disappointed that it took me that long. But you have Elizabeth Olsen playing variations of herself. So you get really good performances. Wong is back. He's tremendous. I would watch a Wong show or movie. And this is not a spoiler, but we learn unless you haven't seen Spider-Man No Way Home, but we learned in Spider-Man No Way Home that when Doctor Strange got snapped away and dusted, so to speak, that Wong became the Sorcerer Supreme. So I think there's a fun world where there's maybe a Disney Plus show about Wong and being the Sorcerer Supreme, being the enlightened one, the teacher at Camartage. And again, not that this is a spoiler, but we get some glimpses of that, of him in that leadership role in this movie. And I am going to apologize because there's no way that I'm going to be able to accurately pronounce her name, but the young lady, the young actress who plays America Chavez, That is not a comic book character, I will admit, that I've ever delved too deep in. Shame on me. But her character in this movie is very compelling. And again, I'm trying to determine if this is a spoiler or not, and I don't believe it is. Okay, well, I apologize. If you deem this a spoiler, let me know in the comments. But there's only one America Chavez in the MCU at large. There's only one of her. There's not different ones across the multiverse. She is, in essence, one of a kind. So I thought she was tremendous in what they, bring in newcomer to the big dance, so to speak. I don't know anything about her IMDb or her, acting creds ahead of this. But this is a big role. This is a big spot to be in for anybody, let alone, a younger actress. And I like the fact that, they went young. They didn't have, it kept it very, I guess, close to, the origins of the comic book version. And I say that I'm sure I'm going to get reamed in the comments because I don't read I don't read that particular comic. So, maybe their powers are different or something like that. But for her role in this movie, it fit very well. So very pleased with that. A lot, not a ton of humor, believe it or not. I mean, there are some, high spots, some ha-has, some quick lines of dialogue because Doctor Strange is that type of guy. He's that character, Stephen Strange, who's a little, quick on his feet. And Wong is tremendous because those guys go back and forth, especially about that Sorcerer Supreme title, in promotion. Let's talk about the direction. Sam Raimi. There are definitive, if you're familiar with Sam Raimi's, body of work, you're gonna know that's a Raimiism. That's a Raimiism. That these are various hallmarks of Sam Raimi. And look, visually speaking, this movie I think knocked it out of the park. It took a lot of those unsure moments, because you're dabbling in magic and witchcraft and wizardry and things like that, and so you're able to play in I think a really good Sam Raimi world and tone with that. Again, not giving out any spoilers, but I think Raimi knocked it out of the park. I'd be interested to see him do other, maybe, obviously he did 3 Spider-Man movies, but this is a different tone because you're playing in a different world, right? Spider-Man was thwip, dancing all black, and very, oddly enough, to say something about a Spider-Man movie, very small. This is the multiverse, right? This is visually, the fantastic, and I had a lot of fun. There were, like I said, some of these Raimi moments, I just found myself just sitting and smiling because I was like, that reminds me of, this movie from years ago. No spoilers here, but there's that mid-credit scene, after they do the colorful credits and who's playing who. There's a scene there, and then you have the long scrolling scene. There's a smaller scene there as well. The first scene pushes the story forward. The second scene is a little bit of fan service. I was telling co-host of the year, Mike, because he asked how it was. I said, if you want to stick around for the second scene, cool. It's not, dare I say, not necessary. I told Mike, I said, if you want to bug out, I'll tell you what that second scene was. So he's going to be watching the movie on Saturday in the afternoon. We're planning on recording tonight to the best of my knowledge. So, again, just a few minutes that I wanted to spend with you about Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness. And I'll be honest with you, I always thought it was and the Multiverse of Madness. So the fact, got an education as well for a Thursday afternoon. So I just wanted to give you a few thoughts in a non-spoilery way. Go check it out. I mean, look, it's the next chapter in the Marvel story, so I don't really feel like I need to sell you a ticket on it. But I've been doing this podcast, gosh, almost 9 years now. Really dedicated the last couple of years since Mike came on board. So I don't know if you view me as a trusted voice more than some nameless, faceless person, in a comment section. But I think you'll enjoy it. If you have enjoyed the journey to this point, I don't see why you wouldn't enjoy Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness. So with that, we'll catch you on the podcast, which we'll record later on tonight. So be kind.